basic things that I teach my kids, adults, students when they come into the dojo. And the basic philosophy behind it is that we try to use a multiple of ideas. And so when there are 3,608 techniques in our martial art, there's about 270 principles. And I got quite pleased last night when I heard you talk. You teach principles because that's what I do. I have no time to teach 3,608 techniques. So the principle of what I teach, it stems from now you have to understand he's a first student coming in. He doesn't know which way he wants to stand, so I'll put him in a stance. Now I'll say, okay, we start from here, and the first thing I'd like you to know is to close the distance and keep yourself from reaching over or whatever. So as I move in, then the next thing I know, I need to watch out for that hand. And so as I grab, notice in any Korean key martial art, they never use their fingers to grab. These fingers always stay open. The first thing I do is I take that hand out of the way. I use a pressure point here. So with that hand out of the way, now I have a chance to quickly go through and move behind. At this point, we use sorry.
It's okay.
So normally, in the school, we try to use our falling not as a result, but I would actually teach my students when I am into this mode here. Stay straight. Yeah. When I'm in this mode here, I would actually teach them how to cartwheel out of this. As soon as they feel the pressure going, they would then initiate a cartwheel themselves. So we teach acrobatics right away. So that then when they actually feel pressure coming, they'll jump first. They'll jump out of the situation. And so we divide everything we do in sets. And so there are 15 Kibansu. This is Kibansu number 1. This is Kibansu number 2. Again, we use the pressure points on the side of the arm here. And I walk through. Ah! You see, we have never worked together, so I'm sorry. But at this point, you can see the ideas. If you just crank it, ow! It's gone. Okay. By this point, you take it down. And I should have brought it. I hate making you paint. I really don't.
You hate to see.
So we use a lot of pressure points. We use the same kind of pressure points we have here, and we do them. We get into the situation kind of slow, and then we suddenly apply it, because most people can withstand the pressure point pain. So we do kind of on a dip, and then the fingers, the thumbs, whatever, we do the same thing. Exactly the same thing. Now, what is kind of neat, as we go along, I'm going to sneak by here and grab this belt. This used to be a way in the Orient of arresting. They used the belt. Now, there are a lot of different ways of using the belt. I've seen people use this wide. Usually my belt is a little longer than that. This isn't quite go around. But anyways, then I teach my students to kick and punch. So I'm going to ask him to kick and punch. Now, I want to tell my students I want a short range here, because it gives me the opportunity to go along with my principle, and that is, again, to use the knuckles as a pressure point. Whereas if I have it here, it's just a loop. So in the pressure points that we use, whether it's up here or in front, but then we use the same kind of a thing to do the takedown with the thing, and then we wrap it. Now, when we do the choking type, what I do here is I place his hand right next to his own carotid artery, and I wrap, and then I use his hand to choke his own body. And you always need to have something between the rock and a hard place. So I've used my knee to create the hard place. So and then you do little demonstration type things where you have fun. You just have fun, and then you walk people around. That's just demo kind of stuff. But it does give you a wedgie, doesn't it? A lot of times people say, well, why wait for the punch? We don't necessarily wait for the punch. We trap the leg when it comes through. And as we do this, I teach my students to fall on the front, like that. But in the same time, with the short hand, I can again turn them over, because what you do is the same thing as you do. I like to keep my people face down. And then you turn them in. With the longer belt, you wrap around here, and you kind of, have them in a neat package, and you can kind of hog tie them that way. So these are some of the things that I do, and there's no sense in me going a lot further than that, but we have a lot of fun doing it. And I'm glad, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here and learn.